All right, guys, so let's actually get started. In this section, we are going to be going over all the supplies that you need to get started with modern calligraphy. I know that when you're being introduced to the world of calligraphy, it can be a little bit overwhelming trying to figure out what you need, what's necessary, what's extra, and everything in between. So what we'll do is I will introduce you to things that you might see and then kind of break it down and show you what's absolutely necessary. I've also included a resource page that has where you can get all these supplies from because some of them can kind of be hard to find and store. So I'll give you some resources for that. But first what I'll do is I'll show you my basic desk setup and kind of a brief summary of what's needed to get started. And then in the following lessons, I will break down each individual item and talk about it a little bit more in depth. So let's take a look at what's on my desk right now. Pretty much what you need to get started with calligraphy. You don't need a whole bunch of supplies. How fancy you get is really up to you. This is just like the basics. So obviously you're gonna need a nib and nib holder. So that's this guy. And this is what you're going to be actually writing with. This is a really fancy one, so I'm just showing it off because it's my favorite, but I have another one that we'll use that's more beginner friendly. You're gonna need some ink. So this holds my ink. You'll need a paper towel, a cup of water, and then you'll also need something to write on. This is the Modern Calligraphy Workbook, which we will be working through in this course, and it has has a ton of stuff that you're gonna use, but it's got the alphabet, lowercase, uppercase, and then we're also gonna be diving into the basic strokes. So in order to preserve your paper, I recommend that you use marker paper. And all you need, this is a great smooth surface to write on, and you'll just place it on top of your workbook so that you can kind of see through it, and then we'll just trace on top of that. All right, so we've got paper, calligraphy pen and nib, ink, paper towel, and a cup of water.